With the second pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select D'Angelo Russell from The Ohio State University.
The Laker fans in the building are delighted with the pick. Jalen's head will not have to.
What is up, guys? It's your boy, Jay Dogg, back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about D'Angelo Russell and how he went from a superstar to being quiet, which means nobody really talks about him anymore. So this is basically a rise and fall of D'Angelo Russell. But before we can continue, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any more of my Jay Dogg content. And let's get into the video. So D'Angelo Russell was drafted by the LA Lakers in the 2015 draft, number 2 overall, after his friend Karl Anthony Towns went. He was also friends with Devin Booker. They were very close friends, and they were all in the same draft together, which is very good. D'Angelo Russell got to play one season with the Black Mamba, which is very cool for a young guy to play with a very old superstar, which I'm sure it feels good to play with Kobe Bryant. Wonder how I would feel if I play with Kobe Bryant. Okay, I do not know how much he averaged in his rookie year, so I'll see you. Okay, so D'Angelo Russell in his rookie year averaged 13.2 points per game, with 35.1 3-point percentage, a decent 3-point percentage, with 0.2 blocks, 3.3 assists. So that was his rookie year, where I don't think he won Rookie of the Year that season, but at that time we thought he was special. But obviously, when you're a rookie, you don't really put up much numbers. So I'm pretty sure D'Angelo played all of his games, but during his rookie season, there was a sketchy thing that happened. So he was teammates with Nick Young, and they got into something. D'Angelo Russell filmed him.
The youngest bitch? The youngest bitch?
Right now?
Yeah.
Phone call will go down this Sunday on
How old was you?
Kardashians at 9 right here on
This summer?
I hated being told
How?
what was
What you like?
Everyone would make fun of me.
You was 30, she was 19?
Those legs for days have now walked
Hell
dozens of
no.
runways.
I didn't know
And in
that.
just a few years,
Stop
Kendall
lying.
Jenner has caught the
She
attention
lied.
of big name designers.
Everybody
after the club shit, you know? What about Amber Rose? You ain't never tried?
Kendall isn't the only model ruling the runway.
Huh?
Bestie Gigi Hadid has
She know
been
your girl.
showing her stuff right beside her. As will be the Victoria's Secret show was the ultimate dream come true. The duo just received another prize.
I'm glad you told my video all that.
So Nick Young was mad at Russell for that one. Like, yeah, I bet he was really upset. I don't know how upset he was, but he was probably mad. But for his rookie year, he did very good. And I wish there was like a video that explained that, how he feels playing with Kobe Bryant. But D'Angelo Russell did decent in his rookie year. But now as we move on, by the way, he wasn't quite a very good player just yet. And he also went to Ohio State, I think. I don't know what college he went to, but I think it was that college, where he was in the March Madness, did good in the March Madness, gets drafted 2nd overall, and does good in his rookie year. Now I want to move on to his 2016-2017 season, where Russell put up 15.6 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 1.4 steals per game. And then his 3-point percentage grew up. So he went from 13.2 to 5.6 points per game. Now you see, usually your first year you have low stats. Your second year they get higher, and through on your career, your stats get higher, and higher. So, yep, he's gonna get better and better. So, anyways, in his second year, he got to play it with a rookie who was also the second overall pick, and Brandon Ingram. So they got Brandon Ingram to add a little bit of more pieces, but obviously they did not make the playoffs. And Russell didn't have much to do to help the team because he's still young and doesn't know what to do with the team. So for the Lakers, I think that was a very good team for him to go to. But what he did was phenomenal. I don't really know much of his highlights because I don't really pay attention to the prior seasons. So I don't know really much explain on what Russell did. But it's pretty much what I could say about his second year. But I'm pretty sure this guy was a shooter because he just reminds us of like a James Harden because of his lefty. He's a pretty decent shooter, but he's just not playing as much as we would have expected. Although he did play in the playoffs in the 2023 playoffs, he didn't really play much in his second year in the 2023-2024 season. So we don't know how much he has and what it's going to take. But anyways, that's his second year. So then, in the off season, him and Timothy Mozgov were both traded to the Nets for. They were traded for Brook Lopez, and then Russell was a net, and he only played 2 years with the LA Lakers, and then he just goes to the Brooklyn Nets. And for his Brooklyn year season, I do remember him being good ever since he left the Lakers that time. But in his first year with the Nets, 15.5. So not an improvement. It's basically the same thing he averaged in his second year, the same averages. But he did have more assists in his third year in the NBA with 7.0 assists per game, 1.2 points per game, and 0.2 blocks. Now Russell isn't a defender, so usually guards don't really know how to block, so they don't really get much blocks. Like Steph Curry, we rarely see him get blocks, but sometimes we do see him. Like when he blocked Paolo Banchero in that 2024 All-Star game, which I feel like we should make a video on that because the All-Star game is quite boring now. But anyways, first year in Nets. His team did not make the playoffs, but when he went to the team, I feel like when he got to the team, Jared Allen got better and Russell had a guy to, give the ball to, but it's pretty much it for his third year in the season, which they also had Jeremy Lin, who suffered an injury, so that didn't really make a difference at all. And Russell was still good. The team just wasn't good enough. They just didn't have all the pieces they needed to, be able to make the playoffs. Okay. His second year with the Brooklyn Nets averaged 21.1 points per game with a 3-point percentage of 36.9. I did not look at his 3-point percentage for his first year with the Nets. But with the first year with the Nets, he had 32.4, but 36.9 from his 3-point percentage. And then, 21.2. 7.0 assists per game and 0.2 block. So, like I said, guards don't really get blocked, so he never, ever really got blocked. But I remember he went off in one of the games. I remember he helped the Kings come back from a crazy blowout, but they came back. Russell put up 44 points. Man, that was a game changer. Like, he went off. Not just that game, but he went off all season long. So, anyways, he was a killer. He played much better in his second year with the Nets, because I think his first year with the Nets wasn't really big. It wasn't really fun. But in his second year with the Nets, he just blew up, averaged more than his first year with the Nets, averaged a lot more. So that guy improved a lot, got better and better. And yep, Russell's just a special kid. And he even got his team to make the playoffs. They were not a good team, obviously, the 6th seed, but they were able to make the playoffs, but they lost in 5 to the 76ers. So that was the last time we saw Russell on the Nets, as he was immediately traded for Kevin Durant, I believe. So that's pretty much it for his years with the Nets. And then the next season after, he was officially on my Warriors. Obviously, the Warriors are my favorite team when I found out about basketball. I didn't know about basketball till I was 7, so I didn't really know much about basketball. But, anyways, he went to the Warriors, and he played. We were excited to see him and Curry, D'Angelo Russell and Curry as the Splash Brothers while Thompson was gone. So basically, D'Angelo Russell took Thompson's spot, and Curry and Russell were the Splash Brothers when Thompson was injured. So anyways, he joined them. I was so excited too. We were going to see them play together, and then Steph Curry breaks his hand, and then that was the last time we ever saw them together. So Russell put up he had great games. One of his games dropped 52, and then he hit a game winner against the New York Knicks. He also played in the Christmas game, which I was surprised they won because the team was trash. But they were able to beat a great team with James Harden, who used to play there. So, helped them for a bit, and then he was in the middle of the season. I was sad because he got traded. He was traded for Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota, so he only played for a few months with them, and then he left them. And the Timberwolves honestly sucked as well, so he did not make the playoffs. And even if he stayed on Warriors, he probably wouldn't be in the playoffs anyways. So anyways, with the Warriors, 23.6 points per game. But when he left the Warriors, he dropped down to 21.7 points per game. So he joined his buddy Cat, aka Karl Anthony Towns. If you do not know what that stands for, and if you don't, it's probably because you're not a basketball fan. But anyways, he got to team up with his buddy. I remember Karl Anthony Towns was excited to play with him. And a couple of other Warriors were part of that trade too, like Jacob Evans, which I think I should make a video on what happened to him, and Patrick McCaw. So anyways, that was, I believe, he only played a couple of games, like only a month actually, because of the pandemic. And then they had to go to the bubble. Minnesota was not in the bubble, only 28 I think it was 28 or 22 teams that made it in the bubble. So we didn't see him in the bubble. And then with his second year with the Timberwolves, had 38.7 3-point percentage with 5.8 assists per game and 1.1 steals per game with 19.0 points per game. And he dropped down, didn't do good in the second year. But they also picked up a guy in Ant. Anthony Edwards was the first pick, and he did play with Russell in that first season. At first, I didn't think it was a good thing. It wasn't a good choice for him to play alongside Anthony Edwards, but I think it went all right. I believe Russell did not play much games because he was out with injury. So, and also Cat, like, we would see them play a lot with each other, but then they would, like, get injured and they wouldn't really do much. So, that's it, man. He didn't really do anything. There was nothing. There's not really anything to explain there about what he did there. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what else he can do, or like what else when that season. Like he was thinking about, what am I gonna do in the 2021-2022 season? Well, let's get there now. Okay. Him and Anthony Edwards, second year together, 2021-2022 season, with 34.0 from 3-point percentage, and then 3.3 rebounds per game, 7.1 assists per game, 0.3 blocks, and 1.0 steals per game, with 18.1 points per game. And in his third year with the Timberwolves, like, each year his numbers fall down. Like, ever since he went to the Nets, or sorry, not the Nets, the Timberwolves, everything just dropped down from there, and they managed to make the play-in tournament, but I didn't really like having him alongside who they had, Patrick Beverley, but at the same time, I think it's a good idea because you need other point guards to be on the team in order to, like replace you in case you get injured, so they needed another guard alongside him, but I just didn't think that was a great choice, but maybe to other people it was a great choice, but yeah, so we didn't really pay attention to Bev only when they won the play-in tournament. He acted like they won the championship or something. So, yep, they made the play-in tournament, and they managed to make the playoffs, which was an interesting series. It wasn't because of D'Angelo Russell. Nobody focused on that. They only focused on Anthony Edwards going against John Morant and everything. I don't know how much he averaged in the playoffs, but I do know we just said how much he averaged during that season. But yep, they made the play-in tournament, played the Grizzlies, and then they, I believe, lost in 6. So they were out of the playoffs after that. So, yeah. Okay, well, next up is his last season with the T-Wolves. 17.9 points per game with a 3-point percentage of 39.1. So he quite got his 3-point percentage back into place. And that's it for there. So he did play there for a couple of he didn't have any interesting performances like he did with the Nets or with the Warriors. But ever since he went to the Timberwolves, I just think his career kind of slipped down, and he just wasn't the same. Like, he still was able to, like, average a lot of points and put up a lot of points, but he wouldn't do that, like, every game. Like, I mean, every game you can't randomly always get a 40 piece. You're not like MJ or something. So, yeah, so pretty much that was yeah. So anyways, he was part of a trade with a couple of teams, actually. So he got traded in the middle of February, where the trade deadline usually is. So he was in a trade deadline, got traded to the Lakers again. He returned to the Lakers, but let me explain here. So how he got there was, I think they had Mike Conley part of the trade, Russell Westbrook, and all those other guys. But Russell Westbrook denied the Jazz thing, and they also got Malik. The Lakers also picked up Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and they also got Rui Hachimura the month in January. So they were able to get Rui in basically a trade deadline, even though it starts in February, but it was a mini trade deadline for Rui. Traded for Kendrick Nunn. But anyways, let's get to the point. When he joined the Lakers, 17.4 points per game. So he still averaged a 17 number. And he had a 3-point percentage of 41.4. So he even got more 3-point percentages when he returned to the Lakers. He also had 6.1 assists per game and 0.6 steals per game. So he doesn't really get much steals like he had used to. But when he joined the Lakers started to win more games. They still had to go through that play-in tournament where he played his former team, Minnesota. Now, I think it was a good idea that the Timberwolves traded him because they already had Anthony Edwards, who was going to be special, and they didn't want Russell to teach him how to be a bad player, even though I'm pretty sure he didn't even think about teaching him that. I don't think he even taught him that. But anyways, I think it was a good thing that they traded him because they already had Anthony Edwards, who was becoming a special kid, and they don't really need a bigger piece, but if they wanted to make the team better, it makes sense. But with the Lakers, he was able to help them manage to win more games played. Minnesota, the play-in tournament, to kick their butts, make it in the playoffs where they would play. I forgot, honestly. Who did they play in the first round? Yeah, this one slips through my mind. Eventually, I'll figure it out, but anyways, they made the playoffs. And they played the Grizzlies. Okay, so anyways, they played the Grizzlies, and as a 7th seed, I'm surprised they were able to beat the 2nd seed Memphis. And I think it was game 6 is when he kind of did a lot. He did a lot. He put up a lot of threes, which I remember that. He had a lot of threes. I honestly made videos on that. So yeah, that's what I remember him putting up great numbers. Anyways, they were able to manage to get to the second round where they eliminated my Warriors, which I was not happy about. And then they went to the Western Conference Finals and they got swept by the eventual champs. So, yep, they got swept and Russell didn't do anything in those other games. Okay. Now, the present season right now, well, the season's already over, but 18.0 points per game and 41.5 points per game. And then 6.3 assists per game, 0.5 blocks, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, it's 18.0 points per game. So, I remember this season, yeah, like I said, Russell wasn't a guy. He wasn't that guy anymore. He's not. He didn't do anything this season, obviously. Did average a lot of numbers, but I remember during the trade deadline, he was, like, emotional because they thought he was going to get traded. They didn't even trade him away, which I don't know if they should have did that deal and actually trade him, but it's not what they did. So he thought he was gonna get traded, which I think the Lakers should have got that trade in, but hey, it's what they did. I can't reverse it and make it happen. But is he going to stay with the Lakers next season is the thing. In the playoffs, didn't really. I'm pretty sure. Yep, everyone's always gonna get a point, unless you don't get minutes. But he did get minutes, and I barely even saw him do anything. There was nothing special. There wasn't amazing plays. There wasn't even amazing performances or anything like that. He just wasn't good like he was with the Nets. And I don't know what's next for him. I don't know if he's going to be staying with the Lakers. He was obviously drafted by them and then left them, and then he came back to them. But now he may leave them again. We don't know yet. We don't know where. It's up to the Lakers if they want to keep him after drafting Bronny James. So I don't know if it would be. I think it would be fun for him to play alongside Bronny, but at the same time, it's up to the Lakers and what they think with him alongside Bronny and all those other guys. So we don't know where Russell's going to go, but I just looked up earlier online that he plans on re-signing to the Lakers, but that wasn't 100% real, so we're not 100% sure where he's gonna land next season. So that's pretty much it for D'Angelo Russell. I'm pretty sad for him. He's just not that guy anymore, and he's such a young guy. He's still in his 20s. Yeah, he's currently 28, still in his 20s. He's still young, and his career is not long way done yet, and I just don't get why he's not good anymore, even when he's just barely 28. Well, I'm not saying that he's not going to be good anymore. We'll have to find out how big he does next season, but for my opinion, I doubt he's going to be the same. But he's currently 6'3". We've seen him do a lot of dunks, but not like crazy dunks, but for his entire career, around 7.8 points per game. So that's it for D'Angelo Russell. Honestly, I hope he gets better because he needs to improve again. Obviously, he was improved years ago, but he's going to have to get improved again. But that's it for the D'Angelo Russell video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss any more Jay Dogg content. And let me know what video you want to see on the Basketball Report playlist next. Anyways, I'm Jay Dogg.